Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Today's hard truth is I'm not upset with you that you lied to me. I'm upset that from now on, I can't believe you. And that quote is from Friedrich Nietzsche. Have you ever had someone lie to you for no reason in a conversation? According to Psychology Today, when people lie when they don't have to, it's because they perceive whatever they're lying about to be critically important. Generally, when someone on the stand is caught in one lie, the jury is skeptical about the rest of their testimony. Today, I want to talk about Enan's body language in the context of the Idaho 4 case. So it's time to have your favorite coffee or cup of tea as we begin our story.
I don't know this nigga at all. I don't know anything. I don't know anything that they don't tell me about. I don't hang out with this nigga. Nothing.
This is how you act if someone asks you if you know somebody that's up for trafficking young girls, and it's definitely how you react if someone asks you if you know somebody that's up for a quadruple murder. Now let's see how Enan reacts when someone asks him if he knows the suspect.
Um,
Well,
and it's
so wait, so Brian Kohlberger's arrested. Did you ever see him around the house? Have you ever seen him before?
no, but I did remember thinking back. I kind of I think I saw the Elantra that night, and I thought it was kind of strange, but it was just
When she asked him about Brian, his whole demeanor changed. No more laughing and leaning in. If he doesn't know Brian, it should be funny too, right? But instead, his eyebrows pop up. And by the way, they're just as bushy as Brian's now. He forgot to trim them up. And he immediately breaks eye contact and avoids looking at the camera while he's talking. He's rubbing his head, which is a self-soothing gesture and body language. And he jumps off of himself to the white Elantra. Remember, BK did this. Forget the black SUV. I saw a white Elantra. I'm supporting the police's narrative that Brian did this. And what's even more disturbing is that he says it doesn't matter if he knows Brian. Listen.
this guy is just. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? They've got DNA. I don't know what other evidence. They're probably keeping most of the other things, but I feel like here, so I try to just be conscious about it for the most part.
Why would it not matter if he knew the suspect, the murder suspect, and he lives right next door to the kids who were killed? If he knew Brian, that means Brian could have been coming to his apartment. Okay, and then he goes even further to try to dismiss the importance of whether he knew Brian, which is a huge red flag for me. Okay, just listen.
So you haven't been contacted by Brian's attorney or anything to be like, hey, can we talk about that scream?
No, I don't think it's relevant in a court of law. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see how that would be evidence in a court. You know what I mean?
Okay, he's eye accessing to his right, and he's rubbing his hair. He's holding his forehead. His self-soothing gestures are like in overdrive right now, leaning his head onto his arm. I mean, almost like needing a shoulder to cry on. He is uncomfortable almost to the point that he's irritated that she's asking him again about these things when he's already said, hey, it's Brian. They've got enough evidence for him, so stop looking at me. And we'll get more into his body language in part two, but let's go ahead and move on with the discussion. I want to go back to Lauren's interview. Notice his appearance and behavior are markedly different than in the second one. Uh, let's talk about Enid's perception of women and specifically the girls at 1122 King Road. Okay? He talks about cooking with an expensive bottle of wine and not wanting to throw it away. So he went over and offered it to the kids, or at least he offered it to Kaylee.
And yeah, I just had like this. It was a pretty nice bottle of wine. I don't remember what kind it was, but it was pretty expensive. And I was cooking with it, and I wasn't gonna finish it. And I was like taking my trash out. So I don't remember where I was outside, and then I was just like like chit chatting, drinking a little bit, playing some cool music. And so I went down, and they were like drinking some beer, and I was just like asked her if she wanted this bottle of wine. I wasn't gonna finish it, and they were like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then
Okay, typically you don't throw away wine, especially a nice vintage wine that you're cooking food with. I mean, it's not really perishable. Some wine does go bad. I mean, but typically, whatever. Okay, when you think about giving something away instead of throwing it away, it's like charity or like very condescending, you know? Like, if I don't want to throw away leftover food, I'll give it to the dog. Okay, and I know somebody saying, hey, she's reading too much into it. He was just trying to do something nice. And, well, okay, listen to this.
I was like, oh, they're partying outside. Like, take out this trash, go fucking drop off this wine. Boom, easy.
See, I told you, he's taking a bottle over on his way to throw out the trash. Okay, and so Kaylee thought it was such a big deal. It's Christmas, it's wine. She's drinking cheap beer. Okay, do I need to tell you that this is a big fantasy? Since you guys are such awesome subscribers, of course I have to give you a bonus. And the bonus for this video is a feature from somebody that I watch all the time who has some very interesting theories that really aren't even really out there that much, okay? And so I'm going to put one of his theories up, and I will also include a link to his channel.
But this is also happening at our universities. Why is Washington State University only 10 miles away from Moscow, Idaho University? Both of these states are pretty big for having their state universities within 10 miles of each other. And they do the same thing with casinos. So they built a casino in Detroit because Windsor Casino, so they wanted to steal the business away from Canada. They are basically trying to steal the paying students from the other state. They are at war with each other. First we had the cola wars, then we had the department store wars, and now we have the university wars. They are at war with each other to get the paying students. And these universities are mafia cartels. They are no different than the mafia that will do anything to get students to come to their college and not to go to their competition's college. This could be motive for murder. If you can just be lucky enough for someone to murder 4 students at your competition's college, boy, then you get all the students who come to your university. What a coincidence that 4 students died at Idaho State University and all the students left and went to Washington State University. Parents pulled their students out of Idaho State University and sent them 10 miles away to another university that was much safer. At least they think so. Until the cartels started to fight back and use SWAT to murder the university students. Brent Kopacka was a student at Washington State University. When your war hero students start getting shot by SWAT, you might want to think about going back to Idaho University. When they find a rat in a bottle of Coke, you might want to start drinking Pepsi until they find a shard of glass in a bottle.
Okay, what do you think of Mr. Campbell's theory of university wars? Okay, there's another talking point that we can engage in the chat. Okay, so until next time, much love.